They say it takes a village to raise a child, but what happens when the village watches in silence? In the mid 2000s, rumors swirled about Tiffany Woods' whispers of pregnancy without prenatal care and a lifestyle that raised red flags. When her son was born at just 3 pounds, those little whispers turned into a medical reality that the family was ill equipped to handle. Was it lack of resources, lack of education, or something more tragic? Today, we dive into the heartbreaking case of Tiffany Woods. Hi, hello to everybody in the listening world. I am your girl, Kath. This is your boy, Eddie, and we are back with another episode of True Crime and Other Shit. Yes. All right, so thanks for hanging out with us while we did the Willie Picton case. Y'all seem to really like that, and I'm sorry that we had all those tough details in there, but that's kind of what makes the story. But we're glad that you're back. This week's episode, trigger warnings. We do have child death and neglect and things. Really? We're just smoking a cigar like right now? Like,
I
what are you
had
doing?
the mom.
Wild behavior, y'all. Eddie is on some other shit. Immediately run to YouTube right now. This man just starts puffing a cigar just out of
For this
nowhere.
episode, we're going to need it.
Are you a detective now? Do you have a fedora?
I should get one shit now.
Please do not put on a fedora. That was actually just a joke. No,
I feel
no,
like
Eddie,
a hater.
please. It was literally just a
I
joke.
feel like you're a hater. I might just pop up next episode with a fedora. Go ahead,
If
though.
you pop up
Continue.
next episode with a fedora and a damn trench coat, that's the end of the podcast as a whole. So, yeah. I
There will
forgot
always
my
be a
train of thought.
podcast. There will always be a
Um,
podcast for me. Go ahead,
what
though.
was I saying? Oh, yes. So, trigger warnings. We have child neglect, child death. Um, we have Katrina, as it could be a trigger for some people. The Louisiana folks. I have family down there. My heart goes out to y'all still because I know sometimes you still have to deal with the effects of Katrina today. Let's see. Housekeeping. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram. That's where we give you updates about the show because not gonna lie, life has been lifing here as of late, and sometimes me and Eddie cannot record for the life of us. So sometimes the episode might be delayed, and I'm actually thinking that Friday might be the new drop day. Do you like that?
I feel like Friday is a great day to drop. You know what I'm saying? Give you something to listen to on the weekend.
Amen. So we might start dropping the new episode on Fridays. Be on the lookout for that. Let's see. Are you ready to get into it, Eddie?
Of course. Of course.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a little backstory, y'all. Tiffany Woods is a young mom from Shreveport, Louisiana. Tiffany was a young mom who had her first baby at 17. She was in high school at that time. And she loved being a mom so much that she was like, I'm gonna do this again. And she had another baby at 20. But unfortunately, both of her baby daddies were in prison, so she had to move on. She wasn't getting any support from them, of course, because they're locked up. Like, she needed to find somebody to spend her life with, somebody to care for her and her children, because two kids with two baby daddies who are not around is a lot. And shout out to the women who are doing it anyways, but it's a lot. So Tiffany meets a young man named Emmanuel Scott. He was born on December 31st, 1986. He didn't really have much of an education, so Tiffany at least got her GED, and Emmanuel, he only had a ninth grade education, and he was about 6 years younger than Tiffany. But despite all of that, did you not know that?
New information. I'm about to say I never looked into his age. I just knew like
Yeah, a little wild, but yeah, he was 6 years younger than her. He only had a ninth grade education. But despite all of that, honey, the relationship flourished, okay? Emmanuel had a daughter from a previous marriage. I think he was married before, but they were in love. They had a beautiful relationship, and it seemed like their blended family was just coming right together. So they got into a relationship. They were hanging out, and then Tiffany finds out that she is pregnant with her third child. So they're going to have four children collectively. This is about 2004, by the way. So during this pregnancy, it was different from Tiffany's other pregnancies because she's not living with her mom anymore. Her mom is not forcing her to do all the things that she needs to do. So she didn't receive any prenatal care. And also, Tiffany is still very young and she wasn't really ready to give up the party lifestyle just yet. So Tiffany was known to have a drink or two and smoke a little weed, which causes low birth weight. And drinking during your pregnancy not only causes neurological issues, low birth weight, but also extreme dehydration. But this was all just hearsay. Nobody ever could prove it. There's no articles about anyone saying like, yeah, she was drinking throughout her pregnancy and smoking weed throughout her pregnancy. But on June 23rd, 2005, Emmanuel Scott Jr., beautiful baby boy, was born via C-section. And he had an extremely low birth weight of only 3 pounds. That is so tiny. Like you can literally fit the baby in the palm of your hands. And he was 7 weeks early, and he was, like I said, extremely dehydrated. I had a friend who had a preemie, and the baby was so small that she could fit her husband's wedding band on her wrist.
oh,
Like,
like a little bracelet.
so little. And he had to fight in the NICU like hell to make it out of there. Well, before you go to the NICU, I think every new mom knows this. You're given the APGAR test. Your baby has to pass the APGAR test. This is a test that stands for appearance, which is the skin color, the pulse, which is the heart rate, the grimace, which is the reflexes, activity, muscle tone, and respiration is breathing. So 7 to 10 is a normal range for the APGAR test. And we don't have Emmanuel Scott's results for his APGAR test, but I'm going to assume that he did score very low because he was in the NICU for a while. Um, and while he was in there, they give you a blood test, and apparently, like the state requires this, and they're very serious about it. As soon as that baby comes out, they prick the heel of the baby, they send it off, and they do all the
All the blood
testing.
tests that they need to. Yeah.
Yes. I think when I was listening to the Sisters Who Kill episode, great episode, by the way. Shout out to Marah and Taz. I think Marah, she had a baby, and she said that, like, the state followed up, and they was like, did blood tests? And we know Georgia don't play, okay, about nothing.
Not a
All
single
right,
thing.
go dogs. Um, but he ended up having being diagnosed with MCAD, and it's very rare, but it's a inherited metabolic disorder that prevents the body from breaking down certain fats into energy, kind of like how we normally would. Often diagnosed through newborn screening, which it was, and it can lead to severe hypoglycemia, which is when your blood sugar, it's like the opposite of diabetic. So your blood sugar goes plummets just severely, which could lead to coma or death if it's not managed properly. And avoiding fasting or, treating illnesses. It has a lot of issues that come with it. So the key aspects of this deficiency is caused by a mutation in the ACADM gene. I know I'm giving y'all a science lesson here, but just
Stick
now
with
mind
you. Just
you,
stick with it. We're gonna stick with you. Go ahead.
okay? Because this is all important. Now mind you, okay? So and the mechanism is the ability to inability to break down medium chain fatty acids during fasting illness. So like when you're sick, your body like starts working harder. Like MCAD prevents your body from doing this. Symptoms include vomiting, lack of energy, which is like severe lethargy, hypoglycemia, seizures, and liver problems. And this is like frequently feeding and regular feeding to avoid fasting, rapid treatment infection. And this is a very, very rare thing. So not a lot of people know about it. It affects about 1 in 15,000 babies in the US. But baby Emmanuel, baby EJ, he was able to get his weight up about 40 days later after being born in the NICU, and then he's finally ready to graduate and go home. So here's where everything gets a little funky, and Eddie is about to take over from here. But the discharge papers never said exactly how she should be caring for baby EJ. So, like they said, Tiffany, this is how you care for the baby.
They
You need to be
verbally,
feeding him regularly, huh?
they verbally told her, but they
They
didn't. I know
verbally
that.
told her. It
So,
was
and that's where it kind of contradicts too, because in the case files, it do talk a little bit about how the doctors verbally told her, and I think they did give her maybe like a written down sheet. Now, did she lose a sheet? That's possibly what happened.
probably, you
Yeah,
know,
that's something that probably
I lose
probably did
everything.
happen. Like, think about it. It's you're taking in a baby. There's a whole bunch of things that you're grabbing now off. So we have to bring it to the point. The big factor here is Katrina, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more too. And I feel like that's where a lot of this is like, where it's like, okay, on a regular case, regular basis, I can agree with a lot of the DA's points, which are valid, XYZ, but we have to think about the situation that was about to go down. And I'd say what I think it was 2 weeks. I don't even know if it was a month after the baby was discharged from the hospital.
Katrina.
Um, Katrina hit. Katrina hit New Orleans. They're in the
Was it that
center.
August?
Yeah, it was so the baby was I think it
No,
was August.
September, I think.
September is when Katrina hit. August is when the baby was let go from the
Discharge. It
hospital.
was 40 days after his
Discharged and
birth.
saying like, all right, cool, you're good to go. She packed up and traveled, I believe, either 200 or 400 miles away to Shreveport. Cannot remember consistently how many miles it is, but she packed up, went to Shreveport. Remind you, her family is still in New Orleans. So she's leaving behind her mom. She's leaving behind everybody that she know and love. Don't know who's going to survive. And if I'm gonna actually talk about a lot of like the Katrina facts and what actually went down in Katrina and how it really was not just a flood. Like how people from North Carolina or that's not from New Orleans think, oh, it's just a flood that came through there.
Mm,
Um,
no.
it was way deeper than that because it was also a race riot that went on through that time period too at the same time. So you're going through a natural disaster, but you're also going through hatred from people that are experiencing the same thing that you're going through. So in the midst of this, she travels with her family, goes to Shreveport, and she's trying to start her life, get her life together for like just trying to get a basis of everything. So she's on the government assistance. She's of course on is it SNAP? I believe it is, or is
Yeah,
it
away.
the WIC? So she is on the WIC program. She also has some other government assistance to help her kind of get on her feet. Her and Emmanuel, the husband, well, it's a common law husband, I believe it is,
Were
or
they long? I don't know the laws in
so pretty
Louisiana when it
much,
calls when it regards like common law. I don't know how long you're supposed to be together before you're
yeah.
considered common law. It's
Technically,
illegal now in North Carolina. They got rid of that shit.
yeah, nah. In
It's
Louisiana at this time, they were considered common law marriage, so they were pretty much technically married under the laws of Louisiana. They and this is where it kind of gets blended and messed up for them. So whenever the defense attorney they came in and they looked at and okay, let me back up here. Let me back up here. So pretty much what happened was baby Emmanuel was not eating properly when he first came in. So they already knew they had to feed him a special formula. They did not feed the baby the special formula that they were supposed to. Now, in my defense, I don't know too much about babies. You know, I don't know too much about babies.
We know.
Um,
Have you held a baby?
so my godchild was born, right? And the
That's what
first
I'm
thing the
saying.
family
I know
looked
your
at, yeah, they
godchild
looked
was
at me and
born.
said, yeah, they looked
Have
at
you
me and said,
held
"Don't you
that
want to
baby?
hold him?" I said, "Not really." Like I dapped the little man up with like my finger. I grabbed my finger and I put it on his little palm and I said, "Yeah, you my dog. That's my dog." We still cool to this
Men are
day.
so weird about that.
Actually held him for the first time probably about like a month or two ago, and like I was burping him, didn't know how to properly burp him. Yeah, handed it back to her mom. The little man said, "Yeah, he didn't finish the job." Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I
Gosh, yeah.
apologize for that. Apologize for that. Yeah, to this day.
Got to be kind
But
of like, a
you
little
gotta put some
firm with
force.
it.
Yeah, you gotta put a little firmness behind it. Yeah,
And I
they
can see
ain't
how
telling
that
that.
would scare a man because it's like, I don't want to break it.
Yeah, like I don't want to break it like a baby. Um, so we go through like pretty much we going through it where she's the baby formula is pretty much not working. Like not the baby formula that she's properly buying. She's not technically buying the baby formula that they recommended. She's buying her own baby formula. She's doing half milk, half water. Um, Yes, yes. She's doing half milk, half water. Please explain half milk, half water to us, because I was looking at this like, what's wrong with half milk, half water? I thought I heard this before. I thought like that was something that you could do.
Now, I don't know if it's ever told this in the hospital, but you are not supposed to give a baby. I can't remember if it's like until they're like a certain age. Maybe it's like a year old. I don't remember exactly. And it's been a while since I've even had to think about this because of my goddaughter. But yeah, you can't feed newborns milk. Like, and especially one with MCAD because like milk is a fat and they can't break it down and he can't like process that and actually like your body turns everything into energy. It couldn't turn it into energy or anything like that. So he's probably not putting on weight. Honestly, have you ever heard of like cluster feeding or like when
No.
babies are cluster feeding? It's like they're
Mm-mm.
hungry all the time and you're feeding them, but
Yeah.
it's like they're not absorbing the nutrients. It's really scary because the baby is in distress and the baby's probably losing weight. And it's kind of like the same thing, but on a more serious level.
And I feel like that had to take into it because she talks about how the baby was projectile vomiting. She talks about how the baby
Yeah, it's like
never held
projecting.
down the food. She tried her best to feed it. It never worked out with the baby. And to be honest with you, because of the dark times that she was going through, probably going through PTSD of what being experienced, like this is not a traumatic experience that she's dealing with. Not only is she just have a baby postpartum, we're just
Yeah,
now
like
and go ahead.
just like I'm just taking all of this in right now because like I said, I let you do like the research on all of this. I can't imagine dealing with postpartum stress, have a newborn who's probably crying and projectile vomiting and is just so sick and you can't figure out why. And a hurricane, the worst hurricane that New Orleans, Louisiana has ever
To be
seen,
honest,
just
that
hit.
the U.S. has ever come across. Like
Like
ever.
I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. I would be in shambles.
And she still has what three is it three or four other kids?
Kids.
Four other kids that she has to take care of.
Well, three
This
other
is
kids, including EJ.
three other kids, including EJ. I know it was two boys,
Two
and I
boys.
believe I thought it was two girls.
Emmanuel, big Emmanuel, had a daughter. So those are three kids she's caring for, plus the brand new newborn.
So Emmanuel had a daughter. So Emmanuel only had one child
He only has one
outside.
child. Tiffany already had two.
Okay, yes. I know she had the two boys already. Okay. So that's pretty much the craziness that all was going on. Now we come across where she pretty much goes to jail. She goes to the jail, like in the trial is
Wait, wait,
all
wait,
messed
wait,
up.
wait. You didn't even
Yeah.
talk
So
about
I'm about to say,
how
where are we at? Where let's go
we're
back. Let's
at
go back.
like he just got discharged and Katrina just hit. You got too much dip on your chip.
Too much dip on my chip. Got you.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Okay. So she just got discharged. She's trying to go ahead and feed the baby. The baby's not feeding. Okay, now I remember where we're at. So the brother go ahead and he's trying to feed the baby. He's the only one that is able to make this baby eat. Um, yes, he's the only one. 8 year old. He's pretty much holding the baby. Yes, I think they even said that. I think the grandma or another relative tried to feed the baby, but they just weren't eating. Um, Emmanuel Senior, he pretty much is still going to work. This is where the issues kind of come in because she's trying to plead when she goes to court. She's trying to plead like, "Hey, look, I'm going through a lot. Everything else, blah, blah, blah. We're just in a bad place right now." But however, when the cops came in, when they were for the investigation, because of course first CPS came through to
Wait,
check
wait,
on the
wait,
child.
wait.
Yep.
So, how did we get involved in the courts?
So how we got involved in the courts is I think it was just a welfare checkup type deal. That's how
Who
we got
rang the
involved.
alarm?
That's what I was trying to find. I could not find. I think it was just a
Maybe somebody said
she
something.
already no. So we're gonna get into that because I think she's already had CPS in there before for the same exact
For the
incident. The
other
8 year
prior
old, the
children?
other children went through the same exact thing, and that's why I was gonna hold off on. But like, so she's already on high alert. They're already on high alert with her. So now you got a baby that's premature, going through all this. Now CPS comes in. CPS sees it. They're like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" So yeah, now she's pretty much going to trial. Her Emmanuel. Now the reason why the whole pleading case of like, okay, it's like not instant, like y'all not doing well, this and that doesn't work is because when CPS comes, she has a nice house, she has 2 cars. Emmanuel's working. Everything in the house seems like it's
Looking
going
good.
perfectly fine. Y'all have food in there. And it's not like, oh, the fridge is fully stocked. They took pictures showing that the fridge was fully stocked. They have beers, they have cigarettes, they have everything, but you don't have this child's proper. Yes, that's where, correct. Now we're like, now you're seeing. I see. That's why I say I see where the DA is coming from. I see where the DA is coming from. Because when they said the pictures were so bad that when they took pictures and not the
I'm
DA's
trying to, I'm
doctor look.
trying to figure out how to stand up for you, girl. You making it real hard.
Yeah, like when the DA's, not the DA's doctor, but the defense attorney doctor looked at the pictures for the first time of the baby she was uh while she was pretty much on in the witness box. They handed her the pictures, let her look at it. They said the only, like, it was pure horror that was on her face. Like, it was pure horror. She was horrified by the pictures she was looking at. That's how bad baby Emmanuel's condition was by the time
I
that
didn't see
CPS
those
and everybody
pictures.
stepped in. So
Are
it's
they on
it's
the internet? I hope not.
they're probably not, because you gotta think it's way back 2008.
Yeah.
You're not gonna, yeah, you know what
Louisiana
I'm
had
saying?
more
Like,
security then. Things didn't get
more,
out.
yeah, like they have more security back then. Than on top of it, it wasn't a real prevalent case. And here's why it's not a relevant case. It's not a big case until recently, because Louisiana has it to where if you go for second degree murder, which is what she was charged with second degree murder in Louisiana. If you are charged with second degree murder, that is life without parole,
Got parole?
automatically without
Mm-hmm.
parole. They are one of the strictest places for this law.
Worst
And
place to commit murder.
the other only state that does it, the only other one is Pennsylvania.
Oh, I didn't
I
know
didn't
that.
even I didn't even know they had that type of law. I don't know what type of crime they got going on over there for them to have that type of law. But
Pennsylvania, I mean, oh, I don't want to say that on the podcast. Never mind.
podcast about that one. But yeah, so they pretty much have that situation going on. So now she's going to jail for. Now here's what kind of threw me off, because I feel like it could have been a lesser. It it could have been a lesser charge if she didn't have a bench trial. And a bench trial is different from a jury trial, because with a bench trial, the
It's
the
just
judge is
judge.
pretty much the only one who says, yeah, you're either guilty or you're innocent. Not only are they the ones saying you're guilty or innocent, but they're also going to be the one that give you the sentence on how long it's going to be. Is there going to be parole? Is there going to be anything? So she had no chance once the judge was pretty much hearing everything, because all you're really trying to just win over one person. But with the case and how the evidence was built up and how that lawyer and the DA was so mad, was so upset. She said, I'm not gonna lie, I just found out about this appeal. When she went, remind you, this is 17 years later that she is trying to get an appeal. 17 and a half years later, she is trying to get an appeal so she can get out of jail, try to get parole. It sounded, I was listening to the whole appeal, the whole like hour and some change appeal. It sounded like everything was going smooth, sweet. They're about to let her go. Everything was going to be good. That, and then all of a sudden you hear the assistant. She said, I was the assistant DA at the time. I just want to say, I believe that she should never get out. I want to advocate for her never getting out. Because of, I still stay awake to this day thinking about how those pictures, to think about the scenario that I walked into and how she was treating them. Now, also what helped in the DA's case was that Tiffany was so out of it that the DA said she never talked about the baby as like a him. She said it. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. I mean, not really.
No,
If
no, no, that's weird because like in most cases, especially like when like a mother feels like a lot of remorse, they'll say my baby or she or the name, and they're like, like it was my baby. Anytime you hear anything about that, like the mom, you can feel the pain of like a mom missing her baby. But to refer to the baby as it, that shows like a mental disconnect. Like, so that's
exactly, and
kind of
that's
Tiffany.
to be honest with you,
Hard.
and this is not to bash on the lawyers that took her case. This is not to bash on the lawyer that took her appeal. This is not to bash on anybody on this case, because to be honest with you, I don't know if I could have won the case. I don't know if anybody could have won the case. But my thing is this right here. From the psychiatrist, from when she did her psychiatrist interview, and she taught, and the psychiatrist said pretty much it was a very, she was, there was no connection. There was no connection there between her and this child. She had no remorse. She had no feeling. She just only talked about it in it. Every time she referred to the baby, it was it. It was no name to it. And I'm like, for me, and this is why I feel like a jury trial was needed for this anyways. I don't understand. I'm still trying to look through this
Well,
case
it was
and understand
after
why a jury
Katrina.
trial was not chosen.
Like that was after Katrina, so it was probably extremely difficult to get me personally. Okay, now look, I only have a bachelor's degree and a minor in psychology, like a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, minor in psychology. Me, when we talked about this in class, I never liked the idea of a bench trial because I think that it is unfair if the jury, like not the jury, but the judge becomes judge, jury, and executioner.
Exactly.
It's too much power to give one person, and judges do get burnt out. Sure, with all the other shit that was going on at the time, the judge was just like, let's railroad this bitch. And like honestly, me, if I let my emotions get the best of me, I would absolutely make the same decision. If I saw those pictures, I can't really even fault the judge. I want to say that Tiffany was maybe uneducated and I had a totally different stance before you came in here today. I
And
know that
that's why
there's
I'm
more,
like, listen,
but it's just like whenever I walked into here, I was like, you can't tell me shit about Tiffany Woods. She was wronged by the criminal justice system, which I still feel like the judge shouldn't have been, judge, jury, executioner. But still, but now hearing the pictures from that and the refrigerator that had the beers and the things in there, but they did not have the child's needs first. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
feeling
So it's
different.
like the frustration builds, the sympathy still live. Yes, I have a little bit of sympathy because of everything going on. But is it like it's a robust amount of sympathy? Is it like, oh, this is no, I don't even know how this happened. I understand. Like I understand. It's just a factor of with the circumstances that are given, we have to have more sympathy for everything that's going on. Remind you, she doesn't. She's pretty much disassociated. She just had a child that she, as soon as she popped this child out, she pretty much have to just yank everything that she owns up and move way far away 200, 400. That's pretty much in the state. You're getting 200 miles.
It's
That's
pretty
pretty
far
200. Yeah, like
from
that's
New Orleans too. So just saying,
yeah.
if y'all want to look it up on the map, you can see how far it is. It's a
How
good
far
little
it is.
hike.
Exactly. And then on top of it, she's still trying to raise the rest of her family. She was an alcoholic before this happened. Imagine how this was affecting her while it was going on. This is why it is important. It is should have had emphasis that hey, we do need a whole jury. We need everybody here so they can be like, okay, let's all look at it. Let's discuss this. Not just one person moving off of their emotions, off of and remind you, like you said, the judge has already probably seen there's probably endless amount of crimes that was going on during the Katrina time that he had to deal with as well. He's burnt out. Everybody's probably tired. So that's pretty much the
Now I
craziness that
think we
goes on
should
there.
do the bonus episode about Katrina.
Yeah. Oh, we will. Oh, we will. There's a lot that
Have you done research on that yet?
I've done a little bit. I think it was a Hulu special that they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get that together and
I
I
definitely
will
will get
do
that
my
together this
next
weekend.
case and I'll start on that, you start on that, and then
I'll
we'll
get everything
work out.
together on that, and we're gonna try to put that together and give it to you. But for this one, because it does get a whole lot deeper. It does get a whole lot deeper, and here's where the story kind of okay. Like I wish I could like extend a little bit more sympathy because now she goes to jail, right? She's in jail, and it's not like she's just in jail and she's not thinking about it. She does things to go ahead and show like I am sympathetic. I have worked to be a better person. I'm doing different programs. You're doing 17 years. Everybody's advocating for her because when she comes back and
What did she
says,
do in prison? She got her education together.
not only did she get education, she volunteered. She became
Yeah.
she 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 was on the she went and pretty much fixed her alcoholism. So she took a class on that to become better on that. Then she also got her bachelor's degree, a BA in ministry, not ministry. I want to say uh Christian history is what it is, or
Hmm.
religion history or something like that. That's what she got her degree in. And then I believe there was something else that she had gotten as well. She just started showing plethora of hey, look, I'm trying to do better. I have remorse.
I
I
can respect
see
that.
difference.
Hmm.
And then not only that, she had all of her kids come in and they pleaded with them because they said my mom has done better. Even the one that fed the baby and had his little brother in his arms dying because nobody else was caring. He even said my mom is different. 17 years, I feel like we don't extend enough grace. We are stuck in a world of everything has to be perfect, and if you're not perfect, then you deserve no remorse,
You deserve hell and nothing more.
and you can never come back from that. And I
Hmm.
promise you, what did
I
Jesus say?
believe that
The
people
one
can
without
change.
the one without sin cast the first stone.
Facts. I believe personally that people can change, and she could have easily taken her time in prison and just sat on her ass and did absolutely nothing. But it seems like she probably had to go to some sort of therapy while she was in there. This is kind of like what I want to see more in prisons across the board. So she probably had to go to therapy, and she started realizing that like an idol's mind is a devil's workshop. So it looks like she really did put in the work, and she started studying. She got a degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
She got her bachelor's
That's
degree.
bachelor. So
She
not only she get
started
her, she got
understanding alcoholism because it is truly a disease. I think that people are like, this is just choices that you make, but no, like that is a
why
disease.
it's a disease. Yes,
And like I have alcoholism runs in my family, and you have to be conscious of it so you don't become a product of that.
as
So
funny as
like
you say, it is hereditary too. Like I,
it
as
is.
funny as it is, it's not just like a oh, it's hereditary because your family does it. No, no, no. It's hereditary because like
It's a gene.
genes. It's an actual passed down trait. So
Yeah.
you do have to like for those that are like, oh, okay, like my have my family be cautious of it. Like I understand that we all indulge,
Very
we all have a good time, but there is times where you have to take breaks because even the best of us will look ugly because of alcohol. So
Do you think my
keep
skin
that in
got
mind.
this nice because I drink alcohol all the time? No, I drink water. But like for real, like it is something that I've always had to be conscious of because my grandfather had it and my dad had it for a while. And like he always was the first one to tell me when he beat it. I was very young when he beat that, but
Hmm.
he was like, yo, like you need to be careful when you start drinking. You don't need to have any more than these drinks. You need to. My dad was very open. I would say probably like my first drinks were with my dad because he's like, you
Yeah.
need to know how alcohol affects you at home before you're out there in the world and doing something that you regret. So I learned my limits and I learned how to control it, things like that. It's something that you have to be cautious of. Like right now, I'm completely sober. I haven't been drinking at all. And like I will probably this summer, like, damn. I will probably start. I'll probably have a couple of drinks and stuff over the summer, but it's something that I've really cut down on, especially the older I've gotten for sure. But in college,
How old are you?
if you know, you know, North Carolina Central University.
Listen, all my East City folks, we know. We know. A good
Look,
Thirsty Thursday was never missed.
Elizabeth City. Okay. Y'all be doing. Whoa, I only went to Viking Fest one time, and there's a reason for that.
Hey, buddy. Hey, it's like Vegas. It's like Vegas. We don't talk about it.
Shout
We
out to my
hey
family
look,
that
we
moved
go out
to
there.
Elizabeth City, though. Shout out to my cousin Tia. Hey, girl. How you doing?
You're gonna have a great time. Great memories,
Oh,
you
and them
know.
Aggies. Don't let me get started on you alcoholics at Geo. I had a good time, though.
Great,
I had a good
amazing
time.
time.
I had a time
Amazing
was
time.
had. Okay.
That's why I'm like, hey, listen, I like that's why I say I understand. But I'm glad she got her life together. I'm
Yeah, for
glad
sure.
she went
Back
to
with a
jail.
case.
She got her life. Hey, look, we gonna always switch it. We gonna laugh a little. We gonna get back to the topic. We gonna do what we
That's
do.
what makes it true crime and other shit. Okay.
Exactly. She was so involved. I'm gonna tell you, she was so involved that she learned sign language inside of prison, and she was able
Yo,
to
that's
be a
crazy.
translator for. Yeah, she was a translator for the guards. There were guards coming to say like, "Oh yeah, we want her to be released because she does." Out
That
of
embodies.
17 years, she's only had 6 violations.
That's impressive because you can get a violation for literally everything, for your
Anything.
cell being too dirty.
And I don't think people understand how hard like prison is. Literally, the American prison system is not made for you to get out and transform your life. That's a dream,
They want
but
you to
they
be
no.
institutionalized.
It is literally built on the oh, okay, we're gonna take the worst people are like the people that are doing crime and we're gonna put you in a playpen and let you do that crime. So imagine you have gaslighters every single day coming at you about something.
Manipulators,
Manipulators,
agitators.
all type of stuff. And for 17 years, you might have only had a little incident maybe 6 times. That's crazy. That's amazing.
That's impressive.
That's truthfully impressive. And that's why I said when she talked about her kids and then kids talked about the relationship with their mom while she was in prison, she would still keep very much in contact with all her kids. They both of the sons talked highly about her and the fact that one went to the Air Force. One is I think he's
That's
either like
amazing.
18 or something like that. He's still young. The other one he's in the Air Force or the Navy. I can't remember which one it is. But he's in one of the branches of the military, And he talked about how at one point she made sure every birthday he received a gift from her. Not only that,
That is
like
so sweet.
it
That is the
is
love of a mother right there. She is down
exactly.
bad in prison and she still finds a way to make you feel special on your birthday. That is the love of a mother.
And then like got him into like religion, got him into like learning to pray while he was going through the military. We all know boot camp hell. So still having your mom there to still like support you afterwards and while you going through and learning like, oh yeah, I'm like, because you got to remember like, bro, both his parents probably in jail. Like he really don't have nobody but like his family, like mom, like his mom gone, his dad gone, but he got cousins, he got sisters, grandma, but there's nothing like a parent's love, and he
Yeah.
don't have that. And so the fact of he has that, then one birthday for two birthdays he didn't receive anything but from her. He talks about, he said the only gift I got was from my mother when she was in a jewelry making class. She came, she made something, put it together, and sent
That
it
is
to me.
so sweet. I
You feel
got
me? So it's
chills.
like,
That is so special.
and that's why it's like, as much as it's like, okay,
Like she's
I
not a
feel where the
bad
DA is coming
mom.
from.
She was just a mom in a bad place mentally and physically.
And that's where it comes down to where it's like, all right, cool. And I think it hurt me the most to watch the family like have to hear, like, remind you, this lady was not supposed to talk that day. The DA, the assistant district attorney, was not even supposed to be having any say so in this. She came out of nowhere dropping all this, and remind you, in his mind he probably like, I got my mom back, my mom's about to be out of prison, he's happy. Then all of a sudden he starts hearing this, I want her to never get out, I want her to. And what we fail to realize is, yes, we are punishing that person, but you are also
Also
punishing their
punishing that
family.
family.
And I'm not gonna lie, it's crazy that she even got second degree murder, because I there is so many cases in America where people are literally killing people. Road rage. Road rage is crazy. People will literally
Yeah.
drive down, follow somebody, shoot them in the head, and get 17 years. You're telling me a
Yeah.
mom who was in a place? Hey, look, I know I got a little road rage, but I ain't shoot nobody.
You know how the A like to do. Shout out to the AT aliens. Also, shout out to the AT aliens that listen to the show. I love you guys, all my friends down there. Definitely Maxie. Really appreciate you supporting the show. Tyler, Rachel. I think Dante listens to the show. Shout out to y'all though, for real, for real.
What's that?
Keep going, keep going. Sorry.
Nah, that's pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much it. Um, it's just a factor of like, we have to learn to give grace, and even though it may have hunted us, or it, how does it also affect everybody involved? Yes, she lost a child. Yes, there was the life loss. They were
Yeah.
not taken away from baby Emmanuel's life like it didn't mean anything. Um, I think the biggest thing is though, moving forward, was she healed? And the one thing that the district attorney brought up, she was like, and the only thing that I want y'all to remember is that she called the baby it. She called the baby it, and
I'm having a
even
change of
to this
heart.
day, she open statement, she said it. She's not really healed. And then this is what she killed with. She said the opening statement, she's talking about the baby, she still called it it. So she's really not the person who she just pretty much feeding y'all a facade. She's not giving you the authentic her. She's still that person who's from 2005. She ain't grown. I'm like, wow. For you to go and say all this
Having a change of
is
heart.
a little rough. For her to like do 17 years, that like understand she did 17 years. Understand that she
You
only
can't go
had
through that in 17 years and not change. I feel
she
like it's
had
impossible.
mhm.
Like, was she wrong? I still feel the exact same way. Did she need to go to prison? 100%. But do I think that she is the same person today as she was back in 2005 when all of this happened? Absolutely not. I do not think that. I believe that, honestly, this is just, I could write a whole, like,
Manifesto.
20-page paper on the mental health crisis in America. And honestly, I think that she was just a product of her environment And I also think that alcoholism had her in a chokehold, depression had her in a chokehold. She had a lot going on. She's been through so many traumas so much. And my therapist says that. Shout out to my therapist. She's amazing. She's like, when you go through traumas, it's like a file cabinet of trauma. And you keep putting stuff in the file cabinet and you keep slamming that drawer shut. At some point, the file cabinet is going to break. And who knows what that break is going to look like. So, like, I think that she just got to the point. Young mom, 2 children, both baby daddies in prison, having another baby, probably even having issues with withdrawals throughout her pregnancy, drinking to try and cope and heal those tremors and things that you get whenever you are an alcoholic. Trying to calm her anxiety by medicating with, because you can't take antidepressants while you're pregnant, trying to self medicate with marijuana. All of those things are very difficult. And do I excuse her from any of this? Absolutely not. But look at the big picture before we, say that she's never changed. But go ahead, my bad. I just reeled
Oh,
right
that's
into that.
pretty much it. I mean, that pretty much wraps up everything. So of course, she got denied parole because of the statement. But I think the thing that really hurt the most was when the son, after she got done saying everything, you could see the son trying to raise his hand to get one last word out, and they just blocked him out. They just like said, "All right, lawyer, go ahead and make your final statements," and then they wrapped it up. It was like once they told the lawyer to talk and skipped over him, because he said, you could see the begging on his face. He was like, "Can I please say something?" He even said, "Can I please say something?" And they said, "Lawyer, go ahead, finish it."
Damn.
They just like jumped over him. All he could do was exit. He didn't even stay on to hear the sentencing. He just logged off. And to me,
Because he knew they weren't
is
wanting to hear
they're
him.
not gonna, yeah, they're not trying to hear it out. And I feel like
Or-
her case was never truthfully heard out properly.
Yeah.
It was never truthfully heard out properly. I feel like, should there be a retrial? Yes. Will there be? I don't know.
Is she out?
Is she? No, she's in jail to this day.
I thought
She
I saw something that she was out on parole now.
No. Well, as far as I know, and looking into it, she's still in jail. That was what the whole appeal was for her to be able to get out. And she had a whole setup. Even the people that were inside the jail system said that they had something
Yeah,
worked
she's
out.
still in there.
Hmm?
I said, yeah, she's still in there.
Yeah, they had something worked out to where when she leaves, she's pretty much going to help other women that are getting off on parole.
She was denied appeal again in 2023.
I think that's when the one that we're talking about now, the appeal.
That is so sad.
Yeah.
Now it's been around 18 years. That sucks. That's really terrible.
Oh no, it's been 20 years now. It's been 20
That's
years.
too
Because
long.
2023 is when it was 17 years. And we're in 2026. She's been in jail for 20 years that have been robbed from that family. 20 years where those kids weren't be able to have their mom. And I understand that, she did do wrong, but she's worked on herself.
But also, I do have hope because I am starting to see a lot more articles with people calling out this injustice. And hopefully, that, along with people telling her story over and over again, like
Yeah.
Sisters Who Kill did it, now we're doing it. Like, I
I
think
feel
that
like we really need a petition.
we need to get together a petition, and I'll see if I can reach out to a couple of other podcasts that I'm connected with. Also, shout out to Bitch I Can't. I love Anthony from there, and he's been a great supporter of the show. Maybe we can get him to
Go
also
ahead and
tell
talk
the
about it.
story. I don't know what his docket is looking like, but I definitely would love if he could do that because he's a great storyteller as well.
So what we gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna send you a link of our final petition. I'll look for it tonight. Of our final petition, we're gonna go ahead, put it in there, and then we're gonna put
I'll
it
edit it and put it in the show notes.
in the Instagram. Yeah, so that way we could just go ahead and sign it. And if y'all could just spread it around, hashtag, and just send it. Just send it.
Free Tiffany Woods until it's backwards.
Amen.
But I guess is that it?
That's it. That's it for this
That is
case.
it. All right. That was heartbreaking. Now I'm sad. Oh. Okay. So, like we said, we're probably going to do an episode on Katrina just so we can understand Tiffany a little bit better and we can understand her situation a lot more and what she was actually faced with at that time.
What Katrina
Also,
actually went through.
yeah,
Like it's time for justice. It's a lot of misjustice that's been going on a lot lately.
for
So
sure.
it's time for justice.
It is definitely time for that change. I'm going to start researching Jeffrey Epstein. I noticed that a lot of people don't know exactly who he is, but we've seen his name thrown around a lot on the internet. I started following that case back in 2017. Honestly, like he's a very interesting person because of how manipulative he is. So I'll definitely cover that. I don't know. Do I have any more housekeeping items? Follow us on Instagram at True Crime underscore OS. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, like. It is True Crime and Other Shit. Also on TikTok, we are True Crime
TikTok.
underscore OS. It's time for me to go to bed. Uh, but yeah, definitely follow us, engage with us. Tell us what you want to see next too, because at this point we're just kind of doing what we want, but we'd love to hear from you. Lynn out there in Hawaii, I know you've been traveling, but you were our case girl. I need you to get back on research now. You didn't have your vacation. It's time to come back to work. Okay.
Also, if you are in the Charlotte area and you need your locks done, follow my
Yes.
homegirl, Dr. Locks. She's gonna be also in the description. So check her out. Make sure you
Yeah, she
go
does some
ahead.
great work, y'all. I didn't even realize I was following her on TikTok until Eddie actually had a conversation with me the other day and said he wanted to shout her out. But yes, please support Dr. Locks. She is probably one of the best locticians and braiders. Ladies, the braid summer's coming up. Definitely go out there and tell her True Crime and Other Shit sent you, and she will be happy, happy, happy to accommodate you. So definitely go check her out. But I think that is it,
Yeah.
y'all. We're wrapping it up. This has been another episode of True Crime and Other Shit. This has been a Mercier BC production. Thank you and good night.
Dun, dun, dun.